Hey everybody, I'm back. It's actually tomorrow. So right in the middle of working on the lower control arm on the right hand side of Jade, the battery in the camera died. So I had to charge it overnight, but I did not stop working. I kept on keeping on, and I got a whole bunch of stuff done, and I'm going to show you what I got done. So first things first, if you recall, before the camera went out, I was struggling with that lower control arm. It didn't seem to want to line up and go in the way it was, and I was scratching my head trying to figure out why that was. Well, it turns out that the control arm I was trying to put on the right-hand side actually went on the left-hand side. So that's what happens when you blow something apart and months and months and months go by and you're left with all these pieces and you got to try to figure out where they go. Anyways, we got that figured out, and I pretty much have the whole driver's side all put together. Very excited. Can't wait to show you. So without any further ado, let's take a peek and see what I got accomplished. So there you go. Everything's all put together except for the sway bar links and the sway bar, which I'm going to add the link on this side. But the sway bar I still haven't sanded and painted. I'm going to probably do that tomorrow. And then we're going to start figuring out where the brackets for that are going to go. But as you can see, basically short of locating this guy right here, which is probably going to be somewhere around here, I think I'm going to hold off until I weld this plate up. I don't want to have to drill through two plates, so I'm going to probably mount it probably right here, right next to the plate. It gives me plenty of room for the wheel turning, and I did mount the tire and rim on there, and it's centered perfectly. So there you go. So you can do this job with the body on and the engine and transmission installed. A little bit more work, I'd say, but I mean, what's more work? Doing it this way or tearing the nose off the truck, tearing the engine out, tearing the transmission out, all that? Personally, I'm happy with the result. Everything's centered exactly where it was supposed to be. I had put tape here before I took anything apart in the original I-beam suspension, and everything's lined up perfect. It's centered just as it should be. The motor mounts line up. The holes line up with the cross member. So there's a piece of rubber that goes in there. To do that, I actually have to jack the motor off of that 4x4 wood block, stuff the rubber insulator in there, and then nut and bolt it, which I'm not going to do now because now I'm basically going to assemble the other side, get the sway bar in place, get all that where it needs to be, and then I'm going to rip it down one last time so I can do all my welding and sanding and painting the chassis. So let's go look at the other side. The camera has 100% on it right now, so hopefully it doesn't die. So this is where I'm at. Got the upper control arm in place. I'm going to throw the strut in right now. And then we're going to tackle the lower control arm. And then the spindle. So let's see if we can get this bad Larry up there. guess what? I think the rack might actually be in the way. I might have to. I could just move it out of the way just enough. That's a tight fit. We're getting there. I need a hammer. Okay. Come on, baby. Can do it. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Ow. That hurt. All right. What do I do with the nut? The nut's right here. Put that on. Set the rack back in place. Put the studs back in. I tell you, it's a long time coming. I'm sure if I had just stayed on this project, I could have got it done in a couple of days, but I'm spread out pretty thin these days, so. That's okay. As long as it gets done in the end, that's all that matters. As long as I can drive this thing. Get some drive time on it this summer, it'd be nice. Okay, so the rack's back in. Back where it needs to be for now, mocked up. Now, the next thing I want to do, see if I can get this guy to go where it's supposed to go. I did have a little bit of trouble with the other side with this rearward control arm. bushing slash mount. I got it. It's a tight fit. I think what I did was I unbolted this. And then slid the mount in separate. Followed by the plate. Got my grade 8 bolts here. Just want to make sure everything's safe. All right, now. Might have to. There we go. Like so. And then this will go in here like that. Slide it back a little bit. A wee bit more. I think I gotta tap it with a hammer. Get it where I want it to be. Something like that. Okay. If the starter doesn't hit me in the face, that'd be a good thing. One bolt. Then we're going to use a screwdriver, see if I can. This guy a little bit closer where it needs to be. And it's getting there. I think this bolt has to go in perhaps the other way. So now, the control arm's going to come up like so, and we'll be able to get the shock mount in there. Then we can start working on getting the spindle on the knuckle. That will be next. This time I got the stabilizer link already attached to it. And let's get the lower shock bolt on. A lot of grunting. You're not working hard until you start grunting. All right, so that's that. Now, let's take this nut off. I still gotta finish putting the bolts in there, but getting the idea of what's going on here. That bolt's gonna come back out, be turned around. So now, slide this up like so. That nut on. We get that in. I'm not going to tighten any of these nuts because I have to blow it back apart again, but I just want to give you the idea, show you how everything's going to go together. So then, after that, we'll put the hub bearing in. Hub bearing. The ABS, we're not going to be using ABS in this application. I always put the tie rod end in last because you want this to articulate easy. Goes in there like so. And then the last one like that. All right, now we're not done yet. We are not out of the woods yet. So now I'm going to put on the caliper bracket, the rotor, rotor goes on next. Caliper and bracket, brake pads, hardware, the caliper bracket bolts. Just gonna slide them in there like so. I don't know if these are the right lug nuts or not, but it's like they are. So maybe not, but it's enough to hold the rotor on, keep it from dropping off and hit me in the foot. Caliper bolts out. Okay. Then we're going to take the shims for the brake pads, fit them into the caliper brackets, like so. Now, when I do final assembly on this, I'll lube those up with brake grease. Like so. And we're going to install the pads. Inboard and outboard pads are exactly the same, so can't mix them up. Some of these brake pads have what they call a squealer tab built into them, and if you put them on wrong, they're not going to do their job. So you got to be careful to put them on the correct way. If I had that in this application, I'd show you exactly what I mean. All right. Almost there. She's fighting me. Sometimes you can stick them in sideways and just twist them. There we go. Up, and the back one fell back out. So we start over. Okay. So now we're going to slide that on. When you're doing this, if you have a lug nut, it's always good to put a lug nut on to hold the rotor tight. So now you're not doing the balancing act like I'm doing right now. So all right. Okay, everything just finger tight. It's all coming apart again. All right, and now we can install the caliper. Try the top one first. What's going on? Okay, this one's fighting me a little bit. So we might have these guys right here. This might be turned wrong. I think it is turned wrong. Okay. Yeah. So they have to be facing a certain way. It's a flat spot and a round spot. Okay. Now that goes in, and that goes in. Just like so. Now, what I'll probably do, if I have a banjo bolt, pull this plug out, we'll install the brake line. Okay. Caliper hose. So you got a banjo bolt. This bolt right here with the holes in it for the fluid to go through. Always install a fresh copper washer on each end. So that would go like so. And that would go like so. And then another very important thing is to make sure you got the caliper hoses aimed properly, because if you don't, they can pull and break, or they can rub against the tire or the frame or something to that effect. So again, this'll, once I get the plates welded on, I will drill out a hole for a bolt to go through there like so. Now we can put tie rod end in. And yeah, there you go. We got ourselves a suspension. Check it out. Everything's in place. Everything looks good. Everything's just the way it should be. Just like as if it was in a state police cruiser. What it come out of. So, what I'll end up doing is welding these. I'm actually going to add a 1 inch by 1 inch piece of square stock to the bottom of this, weld it to the bottom of the frame and across here to give it more strength. Fill that gap. So that's pretty much it. So there you have it. The first Crown Vic install on a vehicle with the whole body on and the drivetrain installed. Haven't seen one yet, so I think this will be the first video out there. I looked everywhere. Maybe I'm wrong, but if I am, I am. But that's it. So we'll get back at you with some more videos. I'm going to get this tack welded and then blown apart and then finish welded. We'll get back and I'll show you how that looks. All done with the chassis stripped and painted. And then we'll put the wheels on and we'll drop it down and we'll see what it looks like. My prediction on the first mock-up was this dropped the truck down about 5.5 inches from its stock height with the straight axle. That's big. That's huge. And the good news is, even though it's not air ride, it's gonna ride like a cop car. It's gonna give you a great ride. It's gonna be 10,000 times better than the straight axle job. I guarantee it. It's gonna handle better. It's gonna stop better. It's gonna do everything. Oh, and let's not forget the sway bar. So I will come back at you when we're mocking up the sway bar, and that is going to entail locating these sway bar brackets, probably somewhere in this area right here. I'll drill holes and mount those in once I get the bar mocked up onto the sway bar links, and then I'll attach it with C-clamp vice grips up where I want it to be. We'll locate these exactly where they're going to go, whether they be here or here, and then we'll drill the holes out and get those installed. So there you have it. That's it for this video. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, it ain't a hot rod until it's a Scott rod. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.